Welcome to Shredder Fanfic. Like, subscribe, and hype video. Join members to gain early access to new videos. The main character, after dying in his previous life, he wakes up as Ash Ketchup inside a Pokémon with an invincible body. What is he gonna do inside a Pokémon?
Ash, with his invincible physical body, wants to become a Pokémon master. Why can't the trainer participate? Do you believe I can kill Arceus with one punch? He was transporting to the Pokémon world, but his cheat ability was to enhance himself. Ash has no choice but to embark on a journey where he relies on Pokémon daily and takes on opponents himself when necessary. Articuno, you may have defeated Pikachu, but now you'll have to face me. I knocked out Articuno with 3 punches, making it kneel and sing, conquer. We must fight evil Pokémon and bad trainers. Only then can we be considered healthy. Ash Ketchum, the legendary Pokémon master, leader of the Pokémon League, and everyone's forever loving father, said this. Ordinary people in the Pokémon world. Ash, Valkyrie, we respect and love your Teemo. Long live it. The world is based on the Pokémon anime, features multiple female protagonists, and has a system. Chapter 1. Pikachu submits to me. In the early morning, in Viridian Forest, a flash of lightning startled several Pidgeys that were passing by. Pikachu, I think you already know this. My dream is to become the most powerful and strongest trainer in the world. Become muscle, no, Pokémon Master. Stop making futile resistance. Pikachu. Don't come any closer. In the woods, a boy wearing a baseball cap is slowly approaching a yellow mouse. This handsome young man was not old, but he exuded a terrifying aura, like a ferocious beast disguised as a human. This person was none other than Ash, who had just received his first Pokémon from Professor Oak. With just a little effort, his muscles bulged out, and his loose t-shirt looked like it was about to burst. Although you are a little mischievous now, I believe we will definitely become the closest of partners. With a leap from the spot, Ash's powerful armbar locked onto the fleeing Pikachu in a flash. Pikachu! Pikachu was utterly shocked. Was this speed even possible for a human? Zyrojai was panting heavily, but an excited smile appeared on his face. Come on, Pikachu. Let's do today's squat training together. Ignoring Pikachu's struggles in his arms, Ash, as if no one else was around, began to do squats. 1, 2, 3, 9, 9, 9, 1,000. After completing his 1,000th standard squat, Zyrojai heard a familiar mechanical voice in his mind. Ding, daily workout task. 1,000 squats completed. The first time training with Pokémon was truly touching, a heartwarming scene of mutual affection. Congratulations on receiving a special reward. Rewards, 200 coins, 1 regular Pokéball. Special reward, attack stat +1, Pikachu's affection +10%, friendship +10%. Pikachu gains the title, Destined Partner, increases affection and intimacy by 100%. Setting down the exhausted Pikachu, little Chili landed and brought up Pikachu's attribute panel in his mind. HMPH, saying no with your mouth, but your body is still behaving itself. Your favorability and intimacy levels have actually increased. Pokémon name, Pikachu Destined Partner. Base stats, HP, 35 attack, 55 defense, 40 special attack, 50 special defense, 50 speed, 90. Total 320, for reference only in the real Pokémon world. Characteristic, static electricity. It seems that an unknown and powerful force is hidden within its small body. Affection level, 20. Pikachu will now obey your commands. Intimacy level, 10. Seems somewhat distant towards you. Skills, electric shock, 100,000 volts, high speed, quick attack. After looking at the attribute panel, Ash slammed his fists on the ground and said dejectedly, Damn it, The reward attributes were still added to the trainer after all. Although Ash was mentally prepared, the lack of such a simple and direct way to become stronger was still disappointing. It is obvious that this Zyrojai is a time traveler. In my previous life, I had a stroke of luck on my way to the gym after working overtime all night, and I was reincarnated into the womb of Hanako's mother in this world. However, this is not particularly good news for Ash. Although he finally has both parents, his household registration book is no longer a single page. But Ash's dream in his previous life was to strive for success, stand out from the crowd, build the biggest muscles, and become the strongest. It was this competitive spirit that helped him, as an orphan, get through countless difficult years. Now that I've come to the world of Pokémon, my goal is naturally to become a Pokémon master. However, his knowledge of Pokémon was limited to the first 100-odd episodes of the first season of the anime, which were constantly replayed on television when he was a child. He has never even played pirated versions of games. He only learned about them from marketing accounts. The legal knowledge I learned in my previous life has no place in this world. Fortunately, the money arrived in the system on the night of my second birthday. Ding! Devil Muscle Man Training System, crossed out, battle. Hot-blooded Pokémon, activated. The sole purpose of this system is to cultivate the strongest muscles. Trainers. You mean a muscular guy, right? You must be thinking of a muscular guy, right? 2-year-old Ash was watching the latest League of Legends match recording at home when he was startled by a mechanical voice in his head. Faced with such a flawed system, Zyrojai barely suppressed the urge to vomit blood and opened the system interface. Name Ash attributes: HP, 0 attack, 0 defense, 0 special attack, 0 special defense, 0 speed, 0 moves, none. Main quest: become a Pokémon master. Reward: a mysterious surprise. Main quest: first Pokémon. Obtain a Pokémon from Professor Oak 01. Reward: all stats +1. The unexpected mission seems quite serious, but what's with that attribute? That's so tragic, all zeros. Ash is known as a super rookie. Even if he's a kid now, he shouldn't be like this. Ash quickly discovered that even bigger problems were yet to come. This dam system refreshes daily and weekly tasks at fixed times. But that content: daily task: complete 30 pull-ups. Reward: 200 coins, 1 random Pokéball. Weekly task: complete 70 diamond push-ups. Reward: stamina +1, space slot +1, can store 50 units of a single item. What a joke. How could a 2-year-old complete this? And why are all the tasks related to exercise? Just because I used to like working out. Unfortunately, complaining was useless. In order to become stronger, Ash could only accept his fate. After that, Hanako noticed that her son, who used to enjoy watching TV quietly, started to grab the corner of the table and twitch strangely. They even suspected that Zyrojai might have ADHD. Ash is indeed exceptionally talented. After overcoming the initial few weeks of adjustment, he was able to complete most of the tasks perfectly. A 2-year-old child outperformed Chinese university students. Such a super newcomer is terrifying. Through his daily efforts of wearing the pain mask, Ash managed to raise his stats to a relatively respectable level before his birthday, the day he was to embark on his journey. Name Ash attributes: HP, 80 attack, 100 defense, 70 special attack, 50 special defense, 60 speed, 45 moves, none. Ash is now a humanoid Machamp, and he's unbeatable in Pallet Town. However, the props he possessed were quite meager. After years of hard work, all I got were 5 space slots, 478 regular Pokéballs, and some savings. After all, without a starter Pokémon, Many system tasks and functions cannot be triggered. Page 2. That's really stingy. At least give us a Master Ball. This was just Zyro Zhai venting. The system rewards were just a bonus. His strongest weapons were the self-discipline and robust physique he had cultivated over the years. The super rookie had already unleashed his full potential before even officially embarking on his journey. However, this doesn't seem to have much to do with becoming a Pokémon master. Ash, who tamed Pikachu with his powerful muscles, is still feeling lost in Viridian Forest. He kept calling out in his mind to shut down the system, causing the system page to flicker incessantly. This broken system feels more like I have to train myself than receive attribute points as a reward. What use are you anyway? Ash had originally hoped that the stat bonuses from the system after obtaining a Pokémon might be added to the Pokémon. He will then capture a Caterpie and raise its base stats to surpass Rayquaza's. Then use the Caterpie to thoroughly humiliate the Sky God. Long live the Caterpillar Warrior. Now the dream has been shattered. It seems to be in response to Ash, or perhaps to stop Ash from harassing it further. A mechanical voice prompted Zyroji. Ding! When both the affinity and friendship level with a Pokémon reach 100%, the Pokémon will receive a 10% bonus to the host stats. Host moves can also be shared. Ding! Main quest, first Pokémon completed. Reward, all stats +1. New main quest triggered. Mastery. Raise the friendship level of your starter Pokémon to the maximum. Reward, +2 free attribute points. The right to choose any type of wild Pokémon that will appear next. A 10% bonus, any type of Pokémon. Does that mean I can choose a legendary Pokémon? You really can't stop exercising. After reading the message, Zyro immediately picked up the cute yellow animal that was lying limply to the side. Let's get to love each other more, Pikachu. Pikachu, what are you up to now? Chapter 2, Battle Against Xyroxia. It was the early morning of the second day, after we left Pallet Town to officially begin our journey. After another intense sit-up workout, Ash took a bottle of bright red ketchup out of his backpack and handed it to Pikachu in his arms. Pikachu, you should know that I firmly chose you from among all the starter Pokémon. Pick up. Zyroshai really wasn't lying. He wasn't late on his way to collect his starter Pokémon. Early that morning, Ash kicked open Professor Oak's steel door and was the first to arrive at the lab. He also really likes Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle. But how could Ash be without Pikachu? A journey without Pikachu is incomplete. After all, it's a true legendary Pokémon. Using the excuse that he wanted an electric-type Pikachu as his initial Pokémon, he got Professor Oak to give it to him. These processes are all things that Pikachu can perceive within the Pokéball. It turned its cute little head and nodded to Ash, indicating that it agreed with what he said. Ding! Pikachu's affection level +10%. Why is it another favorability increase? Increase intimacy too. Since yesterday evening, Ash has been making various attempts to increase his intimacy with Pikachu. Unfortunately, even with his last trump card, Pikachu's favorite tomato sauce, he only increased Pikachu's affection by 30. There's absolutely no intimacy level. It didn't even increase this morning when I was holding Pikachu and completing the daily quest. Ash looked at Pikachu's panel and felt a headache coming on. Pokémon name, Pikachu destined partner. Affection level, 80%. Pikachu will obey your commands without hesitation during battles. Intimacy level, 10%, seems somewhat distant towards you. If you really want to connect with Pokémon, you still have to battle. Ash lifted Pikachu, who was happily sucking on tomato sauce, so that its eyes were level with his own. Pikachu, you are my first Pokémon, and you are the most important partner in my heart. It's okay if you hate going back into your Pokéball. I respect that. My dream is to become a Pokémon master. Can you help me? Pikachu looked at Ash's determined eyes, put down the ketchup bottle in its hand, pondered for a moment, and then nodded. Pikachu. Okay, after we finish breakfast, let's set off to find Pokémon and battle them. Abducting the latissimus dorsi muscles. Pikachu, Thunderbolt. A yellow-white lightning bolt was released from Pikachu's tail and struck the Weedle on the other side in an instant. The unicorn was rendered unable to fight by a single blow. Thanks to its type advantage, Pikachu is like a war god, winning battle after battle in Viridian Forest, which is full of bug-type Pokémon. Of course, these are just the starting Pokémon for novice trainers. Pikachu's opponents were all baby-type Pokémon, such as Caterpie and Weedle. However, Ash's guess was correct. Pikachu's friendship level would increase by 2% after each battle. The continuous battles have strengthened the bond between Ash and Pikachu. Pikachu's friendship level has finally reached 40%. This means that a total of 15 insects fell victim to their cruelty. Just as Ash was making good progress, an unexpected accident occurred, as expected. Beedrill from the forests of the Kanto region, just like Ursaring from the forests of the Sinnoh region, are regional specialties that novice trainers should not miss. After defeating 3 Weedles in a row, Ash finally faced pursuit from his parents. Damn it, run, Pikachu. Ash scooped up Pikachu in front of him and sprinted forward. Closely following them was a swarm of bee-like bees with bloodshot eyes. There are just too many Beedrills. Pikachu was so exhausted from using Thunderbolt to defeat several Beedrill queens that she couldn't use any more moves. In the blink of an eye, Pikachu was struck by the poison stings released by several Beedrill. Ash defeated the 5 Beedrill queens with his fists and then decisively chose to run away. Is this Viridian Forest still a beginner's village? How come these Beedrill are all at such a high level? I threw several Pokéballs in a row, trying to reduce the number of pursuers behind me, but I failed to catch any of them. Ash hadn't run far when he realized he had reached a dead end, with a cliff in front of him. I glanced at the swarm of bees behind me and the great river below the cliff. Zyrojai could only grit his teeth. Pikachu, take a deep breath, hold it, and let's jump. With a leap, Ash and Pikachu disappeared into the river with a splash. After losing track of Ash, the Beedrill had no choice but to turn around and return to the forest. At this time, on the riverbank downstream, an orange-haired girl wearing a tank top and shorts is intently fishing. Seeing the boy on the river swaying, the girl excitedly lifted her fishing rod. The reaction was so intense, it might be the legendary big prey. The girl increased her strength, and after several attempts, she finally succeeded in throwing her prey from the river onto the bank. A little Ash was seen leaping out of the water with Pikachu in his arms, only to be flung onto the shore by a fishing rod. The fishhook used to pull Zyroji out of the river by dangling his backpack. What? It's a person. Misty, who had been hoping to catch a rare water-type Pokémon, was instantly disappointed. But the kind-hearted girl still ran over to check on Ash's condition. You and Pikachu are badly injured. Are you all right? After struggling to cough up the water from his throat, Zyroji finally had the strength to speak. Thank you. Before he could finish speaking, he stared blankly at the delicate face of the orange-haired girl in front of him. Ding! New legendary questline triggered. The Mermaid of Cerulean reached 10% affinity with Misty. Reward: increased chance of catching a water-type Pokémon by 5%. What are you looking at? Zir asked, puzzled. No, I just think you're so cute. What? Although Zyroxia claims to be the most beautiful girl in the universe every day. But actually, she felt somewhat inferior because of her 3 older sisters who were famous for their beauty. This is the first time a stranger has complimented her on her cuteness upon meeting her. Even Xyroxia blushed slightly. Ding! Xyroxia's favorability plus 1%. But she quickly realized what was happening and said to Ash with a hint of anger, "This is not the time to talk about this. You should have more important things to do right now. Look at your Pikachu. It's so badly injured. Take it to get treatment right away." Upon hearing this, Ash quickly picked up Pikachu beside him. I was so tempted by her beauty that I almost forgot about my most important partner. It was Ash's first time traveling, and he lacked experience, so he didn't have enough medicine for his injuries. I used it hastily in the previous battles, and now I really don't know what to do. There's a Pokémon Center nearby that we can go to. Hurry up. Yes, there's a hospital there. Where is Tokiwa City located? Zyroshai, suddenly realizing what was happening, didn't even know where he was. Over there, the girl pointed to the location without any politeness. Page 3. Thank you for saving my life, Zia. I'll take the bicycle now, and I'll repay you properly next time. Ash quickly ran to the roadside, got on his bicycle, and set off towards Viridian City with Pikachu on the back. Hey, wait a minute. This is my only bicycle. Xyroxia saw that Xyroji was about to ride her bicycle away and quickly spoke up. And how did you know my name? With a wave of his hand, Ash walked away without looking back. I'll borrow it for now and return it to you next time we meet. Really? Watching helplessly as Ash walked away, Misty could only grumble. Chapter 3, Night in the Ward. On the way from Viridian Forest to the Pokémon Center, Ash had already left afterimages with his legs. The bicycle's rear tires emitted a strong burning smell. Before long, Zia was riding for an hour with all her might, while Zyroji reached his destination in 10 minutes. People on both sides of the road felt a gust of wind and could not see anyone at all. Ash could have arrived much faster if he hadn't been stopped by Officer Jenny and delayed for 3 minutes. Heh, sorry, little brother. I thought it was a thief who has been appearing in the city recently. However, riding that fast in the city is too dangerous. Speeding is bad. After returning the Pokédex to Ash, which could prove his identity, Officer Jenny smiled sheepishly, rubbing her head. Miss Officer Jenny, the speed at which you stopped me on your motorcycle just now seems to have violated the rules as well. Don't worry about those details, little brother. The Pokémon Center is just ahead. Go on your way. After saying goodbye to the unreliable Officer Jenny, who loves racing, Ash temporarily parked his nearly wrecked bicycle at the center entrance and then went to find Nurse Joy with Pikachu in his arms. Yes, please rest assured and leave it to me. We will treat it as soon as possible. After receiving Pikachu from Ash, Nurse Joy, along with Chansey, pushed Pikachu into the medical room in a cart. Xyrojai finally let out a long sigh, filled a glass of water, and waited outside the ward. Ding! Hidden quest triggered. Night X ward. Use unconventional methods to seduce Miss Joey from Tokiwa City. Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, +0, ~5 Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, +1 ~5 Chinese letter, 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 5%. Hey! System, are you kidding me? Issuing this kind of task. After reading the mission details, Xyrojai almost spat out the water in his mouth. If I were to actually do it, my life as a Pokémon trainer would probably be over, even though Nurse Joy is really beautiful. Now, given the Joey family's influence within the Alliance, their physical bodies might also perish, even though Miss Joey is truly beautiful. I am a law-abiding gentleman. How could I do such a thing? Although the reward was indeed very tempting, Ash shook his head repeatedly. Let's just pretend we didn't see this task. Soon, Miss Joy and Chansey came out of the treatment room. Your Pikachu is fine now. It just needs to rest here tonight and can be discharged tomorrow. Thank you very much, Miss Joey. Ash put down his backpack and decided to spend the night at the Pokémon Center. By the way, little brother, you don't need to pay. Trainers with a Pokédex can stay for free. Miss Joy kindly reminded Zyrojai, who was taking out his money. As a trainer, you not only get discounts on purchases, but you can also stay at the Pokémon Center for free. The kindness of the chairman of the Kanto Alliance is truly indebted. This is the right training equipment. Demon horns. Ah, I found you, you wretched bastard. Ash, who was eating in the Pokémon Center cafeteria, was startled by the sudden sound. What appeared before Ash was a delicate and cute little face, but the expression on that face was not very friendly. I'm asking you, how did my beloved bicycle end up like that? Looking in the direction the girl was pointing, there was a bicycle that had been wrecked beyond recognition. The rear wheel was almost completely blackened, and even the foot pedals were broken and tattered. Don't be angry, Xyroxia. I will definitely compensate you in an emergency. Knowing he was in the wrong, Xyrojai quickly calmed the girl down. He invited her to sit down opposite him. As compensation, I'll treat you to dinner tonight. What do you think? All right then. Xyroxia was someone who was easily swayed by others. Hearing that Ash was in a critical situation, and remembering that he had done it for Pikachu's safety, he decided not to hold it against him. How is Pikachu doing? The food at the Pokémon Center cafeteria was quite good. After a few bites, a smile visibly appeared on Misty's face. Miss Joey said there are no major problems anymore. Xyrojai poured Zyrozir another drink. She was his benefactor, and he couldn't be rude to her. Speaking of which, how exactly did you know my name? I can't say, but I just know. What, trying to be mysterious? Suddenly, the ceiling of the Pokémon Center was blown open by something unknown. After a loud bang, dust flew everywhere and glass fell to the ground. Ash reacted quickly and pounced on Misty the moment the ceiling exploded, shielding her with his own body. Ding! Xyroxia's favorability plus 5%. After brushing the dust off his arm, Xyrojai immediately looked up and looked around. What happened? As everyone wondered what was happening, background music played. A man, a woman, and a Meowth appeared inside the Pokémon Center in a hot air balloon. Since you asked so sincerely, I will mercifully tell you. There. That's how it is, Meow. After watching the trio finish their exaggerated opening remarks with a speechless expression, Ash finally couldn't hold back anymore. Are you Team Rocket? That's right, scared little brat. The short-haired blue man took out his piquet ball from his waist and laughed heartily at Ash. Side quest, do a good deed today. Defeat Team Rocket and stop their plot 0/infinity from starting. Rewards, Alliance coins plus 100, regional favorability plus 5, regional reputation plus 1. What is the Rockets? Xyroxia, peeking her little head out from Xyroj's arms, seemed to have seen more and more. Team Rocket is an evil organization that steals other people's Pokémon all over the Kanto region. They're just a bunch of bad guys. That's right, really bad, the kind that's oozing pus. Xyroxia nodded repeatedly, her face showing disgust. but they look more like three idiots than members of an evil organization. Ash knew the trio of idiot protagonists. He just wanted to annoy them on purpose. And Kojiro and the others were indeed provoked. You brat, so arrogant. We're going to steal all your Pokémon. Go, Ekans. You'll be on the gas bomb too. Seeing that they had released their Pokémon, Ash could only pull Misty behind him. It has to be said that Team Rocket chose the perfect time, as Ash and Misty are currently the only trainers at the Pokémon Center. I'm sorry, I don't have any Pokémon with me right now. What? You dare to stand in front of us without any Pokémon? Kojiro immediately gave the order to attack the coughing. Use the gas bomb to impact him and teach him a lesson. Ash looked at the two Pokémon in front of him with a mocking expression. Bring it on. Ding. New side quest triggered. Physical limits. Please do not rely on Pokémon to defeat the enemy before you. Reward. Activate hidden potential. Aura power. Aura power. The question flashed through his mind, but Ash did not hesitate at all. Ash launched himself forward and delivered a powerful punch, striking the round body of the coughing directly. The gas bomb, caught off guard, flew backwards along with Arbok, which was standing diagonally behind them, and crashed into Team Rocket. How could this be? Kojiro exclaimed in shock. Damn it, Arbok attacked with its venomous stinger. At Musashi's command, the Arbok that had been lying on the ground immediately rose up and fired purple needles from its mouth. But Ash was faster and more agile, dodging all the attacks. Jesse and Kojiro are really bad at training their Pokémon. It is slow to accept trainer commands, and its attacks are also weak. No wonder it's always been considered a baby with experience points. How could such Pokémon and trainers possibly be a match for Ash Ketchum, the humanoid Machamp? He quickly approached the rocket's location and unleashed another powerful downward strike, the Imperial Grace ground-shattering fist. It struck the Arbok's head hard, slamming its entire head to the ground and forcibly closing its open mouth. Arbok has lost its ability to fight. At that moment, Coughing used a ramming attack to get closer, and Ash casually picked up the unconscious Ekans on the ground and used it as a baseball bat to knock it away. The backstage door of the Pokémon Center suddenly opened, and Nurse Joy walked out with Chansey. What happened that made such a loud noise just now? Before Joey could react, a round, black figure appeared in front of her. Then there was a thud. Ding! Hidden quest, Night X Ward completed. Rewards, all attributes +1, free attribute +1, title, Scum. Page 4. Is this okay? Does using abnormal means to push back the original mean exactly what it says? Zyroshai wondered. But can't this title be changed? He hasn't done anything bad, so why is he called a scumbag? After quickly knocking out Team Rocket with a punch, Ash and Misty rushed to help Nurse Joy. Ding! Side quest completed. Physical limits. Reward, activate hidden potential, aura power. Congratulations on completing the side quest. Do a good deed every day, 1/infinity. Rewards, Alliance coins +100, regional favorability +5, regional reputation +1. After Joey regained consciousness, Zyroxia explained the whole story to her. Nurse Joy also sincerely thanked Ash and contacted Officer Jenny. Officer Jenny arrived at the center shortly afterward, and it's safe to assume she must have been speeding on the way. Team Rocket then handed her over to the police station. I probably won't see those three idiots again, right? The next morning, after replenishing their supplies, Ash, along with a fully recovered Pikachu and Misty, headed to Viridian Forest once again. Although I'm still a little wary of Beedrill, leaving Viridian City and finding a new rival are inevitable steps. Pikachu, we must defeat 20 opponents today. Are you confident? Pikachu. Pikachu patted its chest to indicate that everything was fine. Okay, let's go. Ash couldn't wait to catch his first Pokémon. Chapter 4. The Grey-Black Unicorn Beetle. Ah, there's a bug, a bug, a bug. The whole morning was spent amidst Xyroxia's screams. After all, there are more insects in Viridian Forest than raindrops in the sky, and Misty is extremely afraid of insects. Ash was very excited, though. What? Another wild Pokémon. Pikachu with Thunderbolt. A flash of lightning struck, and the caterpillar lost its ability to fight. Ding! Pikachu's friendship level plus 2%. My affinity with Pikachu has reached 96%, and now I only need 2 more battles. Ash, why do you make Pikachu fight so many battles? Zia has been watching them fight for the past few days without stopping. Because it can increase the synergy between the trainer and the Pokémon during battle. Ash put down his backpack and took out a bottle of ketchup. But we really need to rest. Pikachu, come here. After giving the tomato sauce to Pikachu, Ash hugged it and vigorously rubbed its head. Seeing this, Misty smiled and said, "You have a really good relationship with your Pokémon." Of course, we are the best partners. Pikachu. Ding. Xyroxia's favorability plus 5%. Legendary Quest Series. The Mermaid of Cerulean, Part 1. Completed reward. Increased chance of catching a water-type Pokémon by 5%. Ding. New Legendary Quest Series triggered. The Mermaid of Hulan, Part 2. Reach 20% affection with Xyroxia. Reward. Obtain the water gun skill. Zyro Jai was taken aback when he heard the system notification. How come Xyroxia's favorability rating is rising so quickly? After all, unlike Pokémon, humans with a favorability rating below 5 are strangers. A score below 10 indicates acquaintances with whom you have no ill feelings. A score above 10 indicates someone you can be considered a friend. Therefore, it is very difficult to increase human affection. When Ash was in Pallet Town, the only people with affection levels above 10, besides his family, were his best friend Gary and Professor Oak. Of course, it could also be related to the fact that he often stays at home to exercise and doesn't go out much. However, judging from the situation, Xyroxia can also be considered a treasure trove. According to this pattern, every 10% increase in favorability will grant a water-related reward. Previously, there were no rewards for increasing other people's favorability. Misty, it's so great that your dream is to become a water-type Pokémon master. And this time the reward is a water gun, which is the first skill reward Ash has ever seen. If he gets the reward, his opponents will definitely have some interesting expressions when they see Ash's grass-type Pokémon use water gun in future battles. However, the increase in human favorability is always irregular, and whether or not you can get the reward is entirely up to fate. Speaking of Zia, why did you travel with me before? While stroking Pikachu, Ash asked the question that had been on his mind. Didn't we already compensate you for the bicycle? Haha, I'm also traveling alone. I didn't think you were a bad person, so I was worried you might get lost in the forest and thought I'd come and help you. Zyro Jai's eyes were fixed on Zyro Zia's face, making her look increasingly guilty. Come on, it's clearly just that you're too scared to walk through this forest full of insects by yourself. No way, Xyroxia immediately denied it firmly. Look at your shoulder, a unicorn bug just landed there. Stiffly turning her head, Xyroxia indeed saw a unicorn beetle on her shoulder, and their eyes met. What? Xyroxia quickly threw the Weedle to the ground and hurriedly hid behind Xyroji, trembling. Quick! Ash chased it away. What appeared was a grey-black unicorn beetle. I vaguely remember that the unicorn beetle's shimmer wasn't greyish-black. Without giving it much thought, After all, rainbow colors are reasonable in the real world. Ash immediately gave Pikachu a command. This is a rare Pokémon. Pikachu, we must catch it. Use quick attack. A white light flashed from Pikachu as it charged toward Weedle, but unexpectedly, Weedle dodged the attack. No ordinary Weedle could outrun Pikachu. Ash was shocked. I heard from Professor Oak that shiny Pokémon in the wild possess abilities that surpass those of ordinary Pokémon. Because without exceptional talent, shiny Pokémon that are ostracized by their species due to their skin color cannot survive in the wild. It seems this grey-black Weedle has extraordinary speed. Ash wanted it even more. After dodging Pikachu's attack, the grey-black Weedle immediately countered with its string shot. However, simply spitting out strings isn't enough for Pikachu right now. Pikachu doesn't need to dodge, just use Thunderbolt. The 100,000-volt electric shock charred the silk and flew straight towards the unicorn, which was unable to dodge this time. After more than 10 days of training, Pikachu's strength has improved by leaps and bounds, defeating nearly 50 bugs and earning it the title of Bug Slayer. With just one hit, the unicorn beetle collapsed to the ground, its body charred and spitting out black smoke, losing its fighting ability. Pikachu's friendship level, plus 2%. Now's the time, Pokeball go. Ash seized the opportunity and threw the Pokeball. After a few flashes of red light, the Pokeball stopped shaking, and the Pokémon was successfully caught. Weedle, I caught it. Ash excitedly ran to pick up the Pokeball and immediately turned around to show off to Misty behind him. Little did Xyroxia know that she couldn't be happy at all. She was terrified of insects. The bug. Ash, shall we release it? Misty cried as she clung to Ash's arm. Xyroxia's attitude was also very firm. No, rejected. Pleading won't work. I've already tamed it, so it's an important partner of mine now. I'll definitely raise the unicorn beetle well. Don't worry, Pokémon like Weedle evolve very quickly. Once it evolves into Beedrill, you won't be afraid. Xyroxia was afraid of caterpillar-like insects, so she had no choice but to give up after hearing what Xyroxia said. You can't lie to me. You have to protect me when other bugs appear. Only when bugs are mentioned does Xyroxia, this tough girl, act like a delicate little girl. Of course, Misty, I will definitely protect you. Ash patted Misty's shoulder and made a confident promise. Ding! Xyroxia's favorability, plus 1%. Why is that? Ash was puzzled by the increase in favorability. Could it be that Misty is someone who easily gains favorability towards others? Having never had a proper conversation with a girl in both of his lives, Xyroxia decided to stop thinking about this complicated issue. Put away the Pokeball and take Pikachu to find the next wild Pokémon. Son of Zeus. Perhaps Ash was too ruthless in eliminating Caterpie and Weedle before. They searched for a long time in the afternoon, before finally finding a small Rattata in an inconspicuous patch of grass. Pikachu used Quick Attack twice in a row, and Rattata fell to the ground. Pikachu's friendship level, plus 2%. Ding! Side quest completed. Masterful style. Raise the friendship level of your starter Pokémon to the maximum. Rewards, plus 2 free attribute points. The right to choose any type of wild Pokémon that will appear next. Pikachu's friendship level has finally reached 100%. After many days of hard work, Xyroxia put all his free points into speed. Ash's speed is indeed at a slight disadvantage compared to other types. Then Xyroxia held Pikachu so it could recover its strength. Xyroxia needs to take advantage of the break to complete his daily task, 1,000 sit-ups. After resting, Xyroxia first set up the temporary campsite and then asked Xyroxia to help prepare dinner. They then took Pikachu to an open area near the camp. With everything finally ready, it's time to select the species of the next wild Pokémon to appear. The system provided two options. Please select one random Pokémon of a chosen type. Please select one Pokémon of the selected type with whom you have a bond pact. Ash carefully read the system instructions, and the first option was to randomly teleport a Pokémon that met the requirements to his vicinity. Choosing the fire element might send you Charmander or Entei, with a huge difference in potential outcomes. The second option is to send a Pokémon that is related to Ash in the future of the original timeline in the current world and meets the requirements. The second Pokémon you choose to teleport will also have initial affinity and the title of Fated Partner. Title, Fated Partner, increases affinity and intimacy by 50%. This made Zyroji hesitate for a moment, but he quickly figured it out. I'll choose the second one. If I choose the first one, even if a divine beast is teleported to me, it's not something I can subdue in my current state. His current trainer level is very low, so Pokémon with initial affinity are the most suitable for Ash. Having made up his mind, Ash confirmed the attributes and then pressed the option. A moment later, an unusual noise came from the bushes directly in front of Ash. Chapter 5: An Egg. Ash stared intently at the bushes ahead, choosing a fighting-type Pokémon. If Ash didn't have a Pokémon of that type at the original time, it wouldn't be selectable in the system. Page 5. But he really couldn't remember Ash having any fighting-type Pokémon. So he was really looking forward to seeing what would happen. But after that one sound, the bushes fell silent again. Left with no other choice, Ash called Pikachu, and the two of them, one Pokémon, stealthily approached the bushes. When he opened it, he found something that surprised him greatly. A blue and white egg. How could it be an egg? Ash carefully picked up the egg and examined it closely. Do you know what Pokémon Pikachu is? Pikachu. Pikachu spread its little hands and shook its head, indicating that it didn't know either. Ash was originally really looking forward to having a Pokémon that could help him with his daily weightlifting routine. That's why he chose the fighting style. Alas, how could Pikachu and Weedle understand the pleasure of muscles? There was nothing Ash could do. Since it was an egg, he had no choice but to accept it. Ding! New side quest triggered. Newbie male mom successfully hatched a Pokémon egg 01. Reward: the hatched Pokémon's initial affinity with you increases by 10%. Fortunately, he had cleared out his storage space when he resupplied in Viridian City earlier. Then I prepared everything that the trainer should and shouldn't prepare for going out on the road. This naturally includes the whole family bucket of eggs. He bought the most expensive, deluxe version. Hello, new partner. You're lucky to be with me. Ash placed the newly acquired egg into a deluxe incubator with transparent glass. For some reason, Ash always felt a familiar energy emanating from the Pokémon while holding the incubator. Just holding it brings me great joy. It feels like some kind of energy within me is resonating with it. I'm just not sure right now, but it won't hurt. I'll ask Professor Oak for help in the next city. Without thinking further, Ash took Pikachu and the unknown Pokémon egg back to the camp to reunite with Misty. After obtaining the new Pokémon egg, Ash headed towards Pewter City. While completing missions, you can also battle wild Pokémon with Pikachu and Weedle. Occasionally, I would help Zyroxia get rid of insects, and that's how I spent my days, simple yet fulfilling. Biceps brachii. On the 8th day after leaving Viridian City, after being chased by Beedrill twice and getting lost once, Ash and his friends finally arrived in Pewter City. We've finally arrived. I never want to go to Viridian Forest again. Zyroxia's clothes were a bit dirty, and all she wanted to do was take a shower as soon as possible. Really? I think it's fine. It's quite fulfilling. Zyrojai was full of energy. After several days of cultivation, the unicorn has evolved into a beedrill. Even after becoming the queen bee, her skin remains an unusual grayish-black, and her entire body exudes a sharp aura. The egg in my arms also flashed yesterday, so it should be ready to hatch. How dare you say that? It was you who led us astray. Xyroxia grew angrier as she spoke. I was chased by Beedrill twice because of you. To my surprise, Xyrojai didn't seem to care at all. This was to train the bee's fighting spirit, which is why we took it to challenge the queen bee. Xyroxia's face darkened completely, and she grabbed Xyroj's ear and dragged him into the Pokémon Center. You've been exercising intensely every day and used up all the water, so you'd better go take a shower right now. The two quickly arrived at the Pokémon Center for a short rest. The Pokémon egg was also handed over to the more professional nurse Joy for care. The egg hatched that very night. It's flashing. It's flashing. Xyrojai, don't push. I want to see too. After the light faded, a blue, small dog-shaped Pokémon appeared on the hatching platform, standing upright in a human form. Ash took out his Pokédex and pointed it at the Pokémon, but to his surprise, the Pokédex couldn't recognize it. No information available. What kind of Pokémon is this? While Xyroxia was still wondering, Miss Joey recognized it at a glance. This is Riolu, a Pokémon rarely seen in the Kanto region. Ash also checked the system in his mind. Pokémon name, Riolu Synergy Partner. Attributes pH, 40 attack, 70 defense, 40 special attack, 60 special defense, 40 speed, 60. Total 310. Ability, focus. Pokémon with this ability cannot flinch. Skills, lightning flash, faint attack. Affection level, 50%, will resolutely carry out your orders. Intimacy level, 30%, he feels familiar with your waveguide. Description, appearing like a young child, yet possessing the strange power to read minds. Those with good hearts will be accepted, while those with evil hearts will be hated. Ding! New side quest triggered. The hero of the aura. Evolve Riolu into Lucario. Reward, Lucario Mega Evolution Stone, Pokémon. It's Riolu. It looks like Lucario's previous form. Ash has decided to train it properly. Since its birth, the little blue dog has been standing on the hatching platform, staring intently at Ash, appearing somewhat uneasy. Hello, Riolu. I'm your trainer, Ash. Nice to meet you. Ash went up and petted it, which gradually calmed Riolu down. Riolu didn't resist when it was put into a Poké ball, and everything went very smoothly. This person will definitely become one of his key lieutenants in the future. Moreover, the breakthrough point for his aura power, which has been largely absent since awakening, should also lie with this Pokémon. The next morning, Ash took Riolu to train in the city center of Pewter City. Daily task. Please jog slowly for 1 hour at a pace of 5 minutes per kilometer. Reward, 250 league coins, plus 1 random Poké ball. Pikachu, run faster. It's all because I spoil you too much, making you so lazy. Look at Big Needle. Even Riolu is more serious than you. Ash, holding a small megaphone, urged Pikachu, who looked reluctant to speed up. Ash always completes his daily training tasks with his Pokémon. Even for less strenuous exercises, Ash would drag Misty along to do them. It is through this daily companionship that the understanding and bond between trainers and Pokémon gradually deepen. Furthermore, this will slightly increase the Pokémon's affection and friendship levels. Beedrill's friendship and affection levels have reached 60. Ash now understands just how powerful Pikachu's destined partner title is. In just 2 or 3 days, The bond between him and Pikachu was fully formed. Ash spent even more time on Beedrill, but it only reached level 60. It turns out that the 2-point friendship bonus for each battle is exclusive to Pikachu. That Pikachu is so awful. The newly joined Riolu was much more enthusiastic than the veteran Pikachu when it heard that they were going to train together. Although I was panting heavily, I persevered and maintained a good pace. What a good child! Ash nodded to Riolu. After completing a 1-hour jog, Ash and his Pokémon rested by the river. During the training, Zyrojai was actually paying attention to his surroundings, trying to find an important person. They searched all the boulders in Nibai, but couldn't find him. Sigh, without that guy, how are we going to take Brock away? Ash frowned. That's right, the person he was looking for was Wu Neng, Zyro Gang's father. That good-for-nothing man who had gone out to make a living for many years, but had achieved nothing, dared not acknowledge his children, and secretly observed his own family from the shadows. The purpose of this trip to Pewter City was not only to obtain the gym badge, but also to invite Brock to travel with them. After all, Zyro Gang, whose housekeeping skills are maxed out, is too important for travel. Although both Zyroji and Zyroxia can cook, their culinary skills are only so-so. During the last few days of being lost, they even survived on dry food and cold water. There's no other way. Dry food is the easiest to store and it's cheap. But if Zyrogang was there during those days, delicious meals would definitely be prepared every day. Generally speaking, Wu Neng would pretend to be an unscrupulous merchant on a boulder in Nibai City. Why is there still no trace of him after searching for so long? Ash had a vague sense of unease. Chapter 6. Challenge the Pewter Gym. The Pewter City Gym is located in a very prominent position in Pewter City, and Ash arrived there early that morning. Are you really going to take on this challenge today? Zyroxia asked, a little worried. Aside from your newly hatched Riolu, it seems you don't have any Pokémon that are super effective against rock-type Pokémon. With a confident smile, Zyrojai patted his chest. Don't worry, Zia. I've already completed all the most important preliminary work for challenging Nibai Dojo. You're just talking big, Zyroxia muttered, then said nothing more. Actually, the preliminary work was the water stone that Ash bought from the city center yesterday. When we left Viridian Forest, Misty's affection level had already reached 19. Ash gave Misty the water stone as a gift, thus completing the legendary quest, Cerulean Mermaid, Part 2. Successfully obtained a new side quest and the water gun skill. The newly acquired Mermaid quest, Part 3, rewards you with a 5% increase in the power of your water-based skills. He's really growing to like Zyroxia more and more. She's not only beautiful, but she also keeps dropping gold coins. Page 6. Most importantly, the system rewarded me with a free trial of the skill. This time, you can use the water gun with the giant needle in the gym battle. I'm sure today's match will bring Zyrogang endless surprises. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's go challenge the gym. Ash strode forward, opened the door to the Pewter City gym, and went inside. Hello, is anyone there? I'm Ash from Pallet Town, here to challenge the Pewter City gym. After a long while, an older man finally rushed out from backstage at the dojo. Here I am, here I am. Sorry to keep you waiting, challenger. I am Wu Nang, the gym leader of Pewter City. This uncle came out in a hurry, still holding a baby bottle in his hand, and not having had time to take off his apron. Inability. Martial power. Why is it you? Where's Zyrogang? Zyroji asked, puzzled. Zyrogang. That's my eldest son. He stepped down as the head of the academy a while ago to pursue his own dreams. Uncle Waneng wasn't surprised that Ash knew Brock. After all, He had been the gym leader for the past few years. But why does this young man look so sad? Damn it, why did Brock leave early? This situation was completely unexpected for Ash. They must have gotten lost in Viridian Forest and wasted time. During this time, Wu Neng and Zyro Gang had already reunited and reconciled as father and son. Since things had come to this point, Zyroji had no choice but to accept it. Since you're the gym leader now, it's the same if I challenge you. What are the rules for the battle? The rules are a regular one-on-one battle, with a limit of 2 Pokémon. When it came to serious matters, Uncle Wu quickly got into the swing of things, taking out a Poké ball from under his scarf. Also, the venue is a rocky surface. Is that all right? No problem. Ash also took out a Poké ball. Well then, the uncle nodded upon seeing this. Then I declare the battle open. Go, Rumblestone. The Poké ball thrown by the uncle landed on the field, and in the white light, a rocky sphere with an uneven surface appeared. The cracks and dents on the sphere formed blurry eyes and mouth. Ash took out his Pokédex and scanned it. The evolved form of Geodude. It seems that the new gym leader is using the same rock-type Pokémon as Brock. In his vague recollection, he seemed to have heard from some unknown marketing account that Pewter City Gym had quite a few water-type Pokémon. Then this is the Pokémon I'm sending out. It's you, Beedrill. Ash threw the Poké ball with a flick of his wrist. A large grey-black bee appeared on the field, its stingers crossed on both hands, looking quite imposing. Oh, that's a rare Pokémon, Wu exclaimed in surprise. But don't underestimate my Gravestone. Use rolling attack. At the command, Gravestone curled up into a ball-shaped rock with its arms wrapped around itself, then spun rapidly and charged toward Beedrill. Beedrill, get out of the way and use your water gun. Uncle Wu's Rumbler has a speed that is disproportionate to its size. However, Ash's Beedrill was faster and successfully dodged the opponent's rolling attack. The giant needle flew swiftly into the air, releasing a stream of water from the poison needles in its hand, which struck the Rumble Stone. The Rumble Stone immediately let out a painful howl. Okay, I did it. Zyrojai excitedly pumped his fist. Beedrill successfully used its water gun attack. Ash decides that he will pay more attention to missions related to skills in the future. Beedrill was using its water gun for the first time, so its power was not as great as its other skills that it had already mastered. The Rumblestone quickly regained its balance and began to roll and spin again. A Beedrill that can use water gun. Uncle Wu's expression grew increasingly serious. This is a troublesome Pokémon. The man then continued to issue rolling attack commands. Unfortunately, Beedrill was too fast, and Gravestone's attacks all missed. Gradually, the stamina of the Rumbler began to wane. Now Beedrill, use Pin Missile. The Beedrill's ghostly figure floated directly behind the Gravestone. Before Uncle Wu could react, several white beams of light had already struck the Rumble Stone. An explosion followed, accompanied by smoke and dust on the ground. The Gravestone has lost its ability to fight. You're a bit too strong for a rookie trainer, Wu Neng praised Ash after taking back the Gravestone. Uncle, isn't it a bit too much for a gym leader to have a Gravestone that can only roll around? That's because you're a rookie trainer, really. Wu Neng released his second Pokémon with a dark face. Go, Onyx. The Onyx with its powerful strike appears to be a darker color than the average Onyx, and several menacing scars on its body indicate that it has been through countless battles. Only. Beedrill, water gun. Orochi, get out of the way. The water gun attack successfully hit the Onyx. Big Needle, use Missile Needle. The missile pin hit Onyx once again. Onyx uses Tackle. Beedrill, use ultimate impact. The massive Onyx clashed violently with Ash's Beedrill, but the result was that Onyx was knocked away. As the dust settled, Onyx lost its ability to fight. This giant Onyx looks so imposing, but it turns out it's all show and no substance. Uncle Wu Neng truly lives up to his reputation as a man who traveled for years and returned empty-handed. Ash successfully defeated the gym leader and obtained the grey badge of Pewter City Gym. I originally planned to send Riolu to gain some experience, but Beedrill ended the gym battle so easily. Main quest, Challenge Pewter City Gym completed. Rewards, Attack +2, Defense +2, Free Attribute +1. Rock-type moves are increased by 5% when possessing a grey badge. Beedrill's Affinity, +1%. Beedrill Friendship, +1%. Zyrojai was very satisfied with his haul. After both sides retrieved their Pokémon. Uncle, why don't you train the Pokémon at the gym more? Ash suggested earnestly. I don't have time to train Pokémon because I have to take care of my children. But it's the gym that most novice trainers choose in the Kanto region anyway, so it doesn't matter. Uncle Wu didn't care at all, waved his hand, and handed the grey badge to Zyrojai. Then he quickly grabbed the baby bottle and ran to the dojo's backyard. The reason why Pewter Gym was popular with novice trainers was because Brock would give them serious advice after each match. However, it may eventually be placed on par with the current Cerulean dojo. Zyrojai silently mourned for Zyro Gang for 5 seconds in his heart. Hopefully, when he returns from his trip, he won't find that his dojo has been shut down by the league prosecutor. However, this has nothing to do with Ash. I've obtained the grey badge. They struck a pose reminiscent of Ash Ketchum and then headed to the next city. Chapter 7, Mount Tsukumi. On the only way to Cerulean City. The name Tsukumiyama sounds very classical. Heave-ho, yeah. Maybe there's some romantic story behind it. Heave-ho, I heard there used to be a moonstone mine here. Those were very rare evolution items, but they're not commonly seen now. Can you put down the rock on your back before you talk to me? Xyroxia looked at Zyroji, who was doing squats with a huge rock on his back, with a dark expression on her face. The very self-disciplined Zyroji started completing his prescribed training as soon as he woke up this morning. This time, he was accompanied by Riolu and Pikachu again. The two little ones each carried a rock about the size of their heads and did squats with Ash. Xyroxia worriedly advised Zyroji, excessive exercise can actually be harmful to your health. Do you know that? Don't worry, Xyroxia. My body is far from reaching its limit. This is the confidence of a super rookie. Zyrojai discovered from childhood that his physique was different from ordinary people, with super strong resistance to blows and extremely fast recovery. Could it really be a Saiyan? With 2 final squats, Ash completed today's task. He doesn't even bother to look at the rewards. It's always the same ones anyway. Such self-discipline is not due to the system, but because I genuinely enjoy the process of becoming physically stronger after putting in the effort. Daily quests are fine, but the weekly quests that were just refreshed yesterday are really giving Zyrojai a headache. Weekly mission, Pokémon Wolf, raid Misty at night and make the girls scream. Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, +1 tilde 50, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, +1 tilde 50, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, +1 tilde 5, 20%, Chinese letter, 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 Chinese letter. This system is too dazzling and oppressive. While people in the Pokémon world are generally precocious, this is just too much. Something was off from that previous mission in Ward X at night. Ever since I started traveling with Xyroxia, every time I refresh the page, it's like this. Page 7. It was as if he absolutely had to complete a task related to Xyroxia. Moreover, the upper limit of the reward range is ridiculously high. Isn't this tempting him to commit a crime? However, judging from the situation with Miss Joey last time, it seems that as long as the literal meaning is correct, the task can be considered completed. If all else fails, Xyroji will have to use pebbles to flick Xyroxia's forehead tonight. Although the rewards will be less generous according to the system's usual practices. However, the weekly missions are really important as they are a major source of Ash's attribute points, and it's not good to keep getting stuck like this. Xyroxia pointed to the road leading up the mountain and said to Xyroji, who was changing clothes after finishing his workout. Since it's a necessary route, let's go to Mount Sukumi together and take a look. Ash didn't object to the suggestion. Okay, I also want to go and see if there are any wild Pokémon nearby. Ding! Side quest triggered. Capture a rare Clefairy from MT. Moon. Rewards: Alliance coins plus 250, free attribute points plus 2, random Poké Ball plus 1, move, Mega Punch. Clefairy is a fairy-type Pokémon that loves peace and is kind-hearted. Its main habitat is MT. Moon. However, examples of Pippi being found are extremely rare. That sounds like an insult to me, but a million-ton punch. I can't miss it. After wiping Pikachu's sweat with a towel, Ash and Misty went up the mountain together. Before they had gone far, Ash and his friends heard a commotion. These are Zubats. Ash saw a man in a white coat curled up by the roadside, being attacked by a group of blue bats with no eyes and huge mouths. This Pokémon is called Zubat, a bat-like Pokémon that can fly using ultrasonic waves it emits. It hides in dark caves and rarely appears outdoors during the day. It is highly unusual for so many supersonic bats to attack a human under the sun. But Xyroji and his friends didn't have time to think too much. Saving lives was the priority. Pikachu used Thunderbolt to drive the Zubats away. After a blinding flash of lightning, the supersonic bats scurried back into their burrows. However, the adult who was attacked was also electrocuted by Pikachu's attack. It's so numb. But it's so amazing, I'm so touched. Thank you so much. It's like you gave me a second life. The man in the white coat suddenly stood up from the ground and hugged Xyroji. Ash quickly pushed aside the white coat and asked, "Uncle, why were you attacked by Zubat?" "Uncle, I'm not that old. I'm Lee Key, a researcher of love and courage at the Nibai City Science Museum." Upon learning that Ash was a certified trainer with a Pokédex, the researcher volunteered to lead the way. Inside the cave at Mount Sukumi, Lee Key led Zyro Jai and his friends into the abandoned mine and introduced the cave to them. "Ash, look how bright it is in here, just like daytime. Some strange people have turned this cave into this mess, which has caused the Pokémon to lose their balance." Looking at the ridiculously bright cave, Ash finally understood why Zubats would attack humans during the day. Those supersonic bats went mad because of these rays. Others, like Paras, couldn't help but keep growing mushrooms on their backs. And the pangolins were so dry they were almost dehydrated. It's terrible. P. Tilda, even Pikachu couldn't help but wrinkle its little face when it heard this. "I patrol around like this to protect Mount Sukumi from damage by bad guys." Mount Sukumi had already been damaged once before due to the moonstone veins. Lee Key continued with heartache. This place had gradually returned to normal after the mines dried up, but recently someone came and messed things up again. Just as Lee Key was tirelessly introducing the situation of Mount Moon, a chubby white Pokémon carrying a rock hopped past Ash and his friends. Ash immediately recognized the Pokémon. That's Clefairy. I never expected it to appear so suddenly. So cute. Unlike Xyroxia, who was focused on Clefairy's appearance, Xyrogi immediately noticed the stone in Clefairy's hand. What Clefairy is holding is a moonstone. Didn't they say the moonstone veins were already depleted? Zia asked, puzzled. It's definitely depleted. Li Qi didn't understand either, so the others could only follow the little dog to see what was going on. Pippi, who hops and skips around, moves surprisingly fast, and the mine tunnels are as complex as a maze. Just as Ash and his friends were about to lose them, Clefairy's scream came from around the corner ahead. Ha ha ha, I finally caught you. Now you have nowhere to run. Pippi hugged the stone, looking weak, pitiful, and helpless as she curled up in the corner. The shadow of Meow Meow, magnified by the light, enveloped Pippi's petite body. A talking Meowth. Upon seeing the familiar Pokémon, Ash immediately realized that Team Rocket was nearby. I knew they wouldn't stay in prison so obediently when I handed them over to Officer Jenny. I didn't expect to break out of jail so quickly. The quality of prisons in the Pokémon world is worrying. Meowth was equally surprised to see Ash. You're that little brat who made us suffer before. I never expected to run into you while we were on a mission at Mount Tsukumi. Pikachu quickly jumped off Ash's shoulder and ran to Clefairy's side to comfort it. Misty glared angrily at Meowth and said, "So it turns out Team Rocket was the ones who caused trouble in this cave. In that case, we must drive them away for the sake of the Pokémon in the cave." Having finally discovered the culprit disrupting the Pokémon's lives, Ash will not stand idly by. You little brat, we haven't avenged our previous grudges yet. Suddenly, a burst of energetic background music rang out in the cave, and two figures holding halberds appeared behind Meow Meow. To prevent the world from being destroyed. To protect world peace. Chapter 8, Taming Pippi. Those familiar, cringeworthy lines, it's definitely the Rockets. After finishing her opening remarks, Musashi pointed at Ash with tears in her eyes and said, "Do you understand how much we suffered to escape this world, you brat? This time, the Rockets, reborn from the ashes, are going to give you a real beating." This was the first time Li Qi, a researcher, had encountered such a scene. Your actions have caused all the Pokémon in the cave to go mad. Do you even realize how outrageous this is? These words did not make the Rockets feel the slightest bit guilty. They remained as shameless as ever. "Who cares about that?" Kajiro said dismissively. "Because we only have one goal. We just want to use moonstones to enhance the power of our Pokémon so we can conquer the world quickly, Meow." Ash was speechless. He still had to knock all these bad guys away. He kicked a nearby rock and shattered it, then kicked the fragments toward Team Rocket. "I won't let you get away with this. If you want stones so badly, just pick up any stone and get lost." Musashi and Kajiro gasped as they narrowly avoided the falling rocks. Is this guy even human? Ultimately, Team Rocket mustered the courage to release their Pokémon. "Don't be so arrogant. We were just careless last time. Let's use the gas bombs." Arbok, attack. With the battle about to begin, Ash instructed Misty to find the right opportunity to take the defenseless rogue and Clefairy away from the narrow cave. Ash also released his Pokémon. HMPH. Go. All my Pokémon, surround them. Is this okay, Ash?" Waving his hand, Xyrogi said with a righteous expression, "Don't be so old-fashioned, Xyroxia. We're dealing with bad guys right now. We need to team up to maximize our experience gain." Ding! Congratulations, host. You have acquired the ability, Ruthless Level 1. You can send out multiple Pokémon at once in battle, and the power of your special moves increases by 2%. What do you mean by any means necessary? This is just a righteous gang fight, Zyrojai thought to himself. Hey, kids, how can you call yourselves heroes? Use the gas canisters in a fog. Ash couldn't beat him, even without using Pokémon before. Now that the enemy outnumbered him, Kojiro made a quick decision to run away. How can we let you succeed? Pikachu, Thunderbolt. Beedrill, Pin Missile. Riolu, Vacuum Wave. The light from the skill illuminated the entire cave, and Musashi and Kojiro were blasted into the sky without any resistance. That's despicable, you brat. I hate this feeling. Congratulations on completing the side quest. Do a good deed today. Defeat Team Rocket and stop their plot 2/infinity. Rewards: Alliance Coins plus 100, Regional Favorability plus 5, Regional Reputation plus 1. On the other side, Zir and Li Qi, following the leather belt, unexpectedly arrived at an exit they had never seen before. After leaving the cave, Pippi skipped and hopped across various terrains, as if trying to lead Zir and the others somewhere. Just then, Meow Meow appeared out of nowhere and blocked our way, shouting, "Don't run." Startled, Pippi accidentally knocked Xyroxia and the others into the river under the stone bridge. Meow Meow also jumped down in pursuit. Meow, don't even think about running away. I want both the Moonstone and Pippi, and I'll give them to the boss. Meow Meow, aren't you underestimating me, the beautiful Xyroxia? Xyroxia glanced at the surrounding water and immediately felt confident, taking out her Poké Ball. Come out, starfish. An orange starfish with a ruby in its center appeared on the river. Starfish, use high-speed star attack. From the ruby in the center of the starfish, one small golden five-pointed star after another was released and shot towards Meow Meow. After using its frantic clawing attack to block several stars, Meow Meow was hit by all the remaining attacks. Now's your chance, starfish. Use your water gun. The water flow sent Meow Meow flying into the distant sky. Meow, forget that all I can do is frantically scratch. Meow Meow's fighting ability was indeed quite poor, and it was quickly knocked away by Misty's Staryu. After Meowth flew into the sky, Ash followed the sounds of the battle to Misty's location. Zir, are you all right? Xyroxia was overjoyed to have a chance to fight. Those insignificant characters are no match for me, Xyroxia. In the evening, Pippi led Ash and his friends to an unfamiliar cave. In the center of the cave was a huge, beautiful rock. There was a circle of small pebbles around it, like some kind of magic circle. Li Qi recognized the stones. These are huge, and the ones around them are too. They're all moonstones. It's unbelievable. Page 8. Upon seeing little Pippi return carrying the stone, a large number of Pippi emerged from the cave. Unbelievable, Clefairy is a social Pokémon. Ash thought that if Professor Oak knew this news, he would definitely want to rush over and start researching it like crazy. After little, Pippi placed the moonstone in his hand, around the central large rock. Pippi around them jumped up happily, and then began to hop and jump around the big rock in unison, as if they were performing some kind of sacrificial dance. A magical scene unfolded. As the Pidgeys danced, the moonstones surrounding the large rock began to glow and slowly floated around the dancing Pidgeys. The dance ended quickly, and the Clefairy chosen by the moonstone radiated light, the light of evolution. Approximately 1/3 of the entire population of Clefairy evolves into Clefairy. Ash took out his Pokédex and carefully examined the information of the unfamiliar Pokémon before him. Clefairy, a fairy Pokémon, is the evolved form of Clefairy and is even rarer than Clefairy. This is the power of Moonstone. Clefairy's evolution gradually stopped, and Ash took out a Poké Ball. He hasn't forgotten his most important purpose, for coming to Tsukimiyama. However, Clefairy is a peace-loving species, so Ash decided to try diplomacy first before resorting to force. I'm Ash from Pallet Town. My dream is to become a Pokémon master and to encounter and train all kinds of Pokémon. Is there anyone here willing to fight me? Please come on my journey with me. If no Clefairy is willing to battle Ash, then the mission has to be abandoned. Upon hearing Ash's loud declaration, Clefairy and Clefairy in the cave looked puzzled and began whispering to each other, glancing at Ash's location from time to time. At this moment, a smaller Pikachu boldly pushed aside its companion and spoke briefly with the largest Pikachu in the pack. Then it skipped and hopped towards Pikachu's location. Pikachu tilde P. Pi tilde Pippi tilde Pippi. The two little ones chatted and smiled, holding hands and spinning around. Pikachu jumped in front of Ash again and started gesturing wildly. Watching Pikachu's actions, Misty asked Ash, puzzled, "Ash, can you understand it?" "I can roughly understand the meaning." Ash nodded at Pikachu's gesture. "That means there's no need for fighting. This Pippi is willing to travel with me." Seeing that Ash understood what he meant, Pikachu gave a thumbs up with its cute little paws. This Clefairy is a young member of its pack and is eager for battle. Ash's arrival this time is just in time. Ash's sturdy body and aura of strength earned its approval. It was happy to travel with Ash. "That's great, Pippi. I'll take good care of you." Ash tapped Clefairy's head with a Pokeball. It didn't shake, so he successfully caught it. Ding! Side quest complete. Rewards: 250 League Coins, 1 normal Pokeball move, Mega Punch. The largest Clefairy in the cave walked towards Ash and his friends, carrying several moonstones. Lee Ki explained to Zyrojai and the others. "This should be a thank you gift, to thank you for protecting its compatriots from the rockets." It feels more like they're paying protection money. And Little Intelligence noticed a look of joy on Pixie's face, as if she was about to cry tears of joy. Just because he took that Pippi. Despite Clefairy's firm stance, Ash and his friends each accepted a moonstone. Finally, Ash promised Clefairy, the leader, that he would take good care of Clefairy, and then left the cave. The next day, Ash and his friends arrived at a road sign at a fork in the road. Looking at the map in his hand and the road signs in front of him, Ash happily said, "If we keep following this road, we'll reach our destination." However, they were surprised to find a graffiti on the road sign. "Why are you scribbling on the road signs?" "Let me see who did it." Zyrojai stepped forward and took a closer look, only to find that it clearly stated, "Shidru has been here before. Ash is such a big idiot." Behind the slogan, Zyromao also drew a very vivid picture of himself, making a funny face. "What? That bastard, Zyromao." Seeing the symbol that Gary left behind to mock him, Ash's fighting spirit was ignited, and he ran wildly towards Cerulean City. Zyrozia was left completely bewildered. What happened? Pikachu, tilde. Chapter 9. The Water Flower of Cerulean City. Didn't I tell you last time that we're going to Cerulean City? Seeing Xyroxia blocking their way, Xyroji said helplessly, "How strange, Xyroxia, why are you blocking us?" Zia, clearly flustered, still refused to move aside. "Is it really necessary to go to Hulan City? Is that even a question? Zia, why are you so surprised? I think you'd better not go to that place." Xyroxia's expression became even more panicked. "That place has very, very scary ghosts that can appear there." As she spoke, Xyroxia made what she thought was a scary face. Unfortunately, it didn't scare Ash at all. Ha ha ha, what a cute, funny face. "Pikachu, let's go." "No, wait for me. Misty teleported in front of Ash. How about we go to Vermilion City? There are lots of water-type Pokémon and a harbor. We can take a luxury cruise there and stand in the hillside park by the harbor to watch the sunset. It's so romantic. See, even someone who's brainless knows which way is better, right? I can forgive you for flicking my forehead with a pebble in the middle of the night last time. To make her words more convincing, Xyroxia used both her hands and feet, and her exaggerated language almost made her face touch Xyroj's. Let's go there. With things having come to this, Xyrojai could only clap his hands and say, "Okay, I've made up my mind." Really? I've decided to go to Cerulean City. Upon hearing what Xyroji said, Xyroxia immediately fell to the ground. But seeing how excited you are, Xyroxia, let's go to Coral City, next after Cerulean City. Ignoring Misty, who had fallen to the ground, Ash walked straight past her. In any case, we must get the Cerulean City gym badge. Now that we're all here, how can we not go to Cerulean City? Seriously, is his head all muscle? With a pat on the head, Misty could only helplessly follow Ash on the road to Cerulean City. If you don't listen to me, you'll definitely be in trouble, Xyroji. However, as Misty had predicted, Ash was immediately struck by misfortune upon arriving in Cerulean City. Because she was watching the commotion from the sidelines, she was taken away by Officer Jenny from Cerulean City for a talk. Finally, after much difficulty, he was released only after showing his Pokédex and proving his identity. No matter what, I would never steal a giant water pipe and a large engine. After waving goodbye to Officer Jenny and apologizing, Ash looked around and realized that his team seemed to be missing someone. Speaking of which, where did Xyroxia go? I didn't see her early the next morning after we arrived in Hulan City. Pikachu! Pikachu shook its head, indicating it didn't know either. They should have gone back to the Cerulean Gym. Cerulean City is a large city in the Kanto region with a consistently good public security record, and it's also Zia's hometown. She wasn't a fragile girl who needed constant protection, so Xyroji didn't ask any more questions. Pick up the map and head towards the Cerulean Gym. Turn around this corner. Upon arriving at their destination, Ash saw a large venue with a giant sea lion sign and extravagant decorations. Is that the place? Ash checked the map in his hand in disbelief. This place really doesn't look like a dojo. I have the impression that Cerulean Dojo neglects its main business, but this is too much. Ding. Main quest, badge. Head to Cerulean City Gym and obtain the blue badge. Reward, defense +1, special defense +1, free attribute +3. The system has beeped, so we shouldn't have gone to the wrong place. Xyrojai could only go in and check the situation. However, upon entering the venue, one is greeted by a huge diving pool. The venue is bustling with noise, and a loudspeaker is broadcasting narration. Dear audience, thank you for your patience. The water ballet show, featuring the city's 3 beautiful sisters, is about to begin. Seeing that the gate was already closed, Ash had no choice but to take Pikachu to an empty seat and sit down to observe the situation. It's definitely not because of the 3 beautiful sisters. The performance began soon after, and 3 girls in swimsuits appeared on the diving platform under the lights. Their hair and clothing colors are all different, but their similar eyebrows and eyes indicate that they are indeed sisters. They have slender and graceful figures, and their faces are really beautiful. Xyrojai expressed his approval of the 3 beautiful sisters. The 3 beautiful sisters leaped off the diving platform and began their ballet performance in the water like beautiful mermaids. The beautiful young woman and her graceful dance moves drew excited cheers and applause from the surrounding audience. Even Pikachu and Ash, were completely engrossed in watching. Wait, Pikachu, aren't we here to challenge the gym? Suddenly realizing what was happening, Zyrojai glanced at the performance on stage. Let's finish watching it before we go out. After the performance, Ash took Pikachu to find a battleground for the gym within the stadium. Unfortunately, Ash's terrible sense of direction kicked in at this moment, and he got lost inside the stadium. After turning left and right, we arrived at a place that looked like an aquarium. Just as Zyroshi was wondering what to do, he heard a girl's voice. Success! Sakura-nichan, this dress suits you so well. This means our special training was not in vain. The girls chatting amongst themselves were the three beautiful Hua-Lan sisters who had just performed in the pool. Excuse me, may I ask you something? Seeing their lifeline, Ash quickly stepped forward to stop them. Page 9. Is there something you need? If you want to interview me, you have to go through my agent first. The pink-haired girl was the first to answer Zyroshi. I can't get an autograph either. Ash immediately retorted, No, I'm here to challenge the gym. Upon hearing this, the three sisters immediately struck their own cool poses. We are the challengers. The three of us are the trainers here. How was the performance? Wasn't it beautiful? That doesn't matter. Anyway, let's start the battle right now. Pick up. The three sisters sighed in unison, and the pink-haired girl could only continue speaking to Ash. We've lost all our fighting spirit. Before you arrived, we were utterly thrashed by those three guys from Pallet Town. How could this happen? It's Zyrom and the others. How tragic, how tragic. It was so tragic that even their eyes became crooked. Seriously, all our Pokémon are recovering at the center. The blue-haired girl added the reason, making a cute face while speaking pitifully. Only those left who can fight are. A flash of white light appeared on the field. It was a goldfish. So there's really no way I can fight you anymore. We're too busy making ourselves more beautiful to focus on training other Pokémon. But Zyrojai still didn't want to give up. The blonde girl interrupted Ash, clapped her hands, and summoned a small sea lion from the pool beside her, taking a teardrop-shaped badge from its protruding tongue. I know that. Here, take the badge. The blonde girl took the badge and handed it to Ash. You wanted this, right? Here, have it. They gave out badges without even having a match. Just as Zyroshi was considering whether or not to accept. Ash, wait a minute. Zyroxia appeared on the stands nearby at some point. Zyroxia leaped from the stands and landed between Zyroshi and the three beautiful sisters. Sakura-nichan, I'll help you in this match. Zyroxia has finally arrived. I thought she wouldn't show up until I left Hulan. Zyroxia said helplessly, After all, I am also a member of the Cerulean Gym. If you take the badge like this, the reputation of the gym will be further damaged. I'm willing to play against you, so let's go, Zyroxia. Zyrojai just wanted a good fight. He didn't care who came. Just then, the system suddenly beeped. Ding! Legendary quest. Joyful Ascension Sisters Donberry. Use force to bring the 4 Cerulean Sisters to the pinnacle of joy with you. 04. Activated. Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter. +1 tilde 4, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter. +4 tilde 12, Chinese letter, 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 +1. Damn it, system. Stop testing this upright gentleman like me. Chapter 10, Battle Against Zyroxia. Are you sisters? Although your facial features are somewhat similar, your hair colors are quite different. That's right, we are the 4 beautiful sisters of Hualan. The third sister, The pink-haired girl Peony shook her finger and said sarcastically, "No, it should be the three beautiful sisters and the ugly duckling." Hearing her sister say this, Xyroxia's face instantly puffed up with anger. Of course, this is just the older sisters teasing their younger sister. If the ugly duckling had Xyroxia's looks among the ducks, it wouldn't feel inferior. None of that matters. "Zia, why are you back so soon?" said the gentle blonde older sister, Sakura. Second sister, Changpo, also joined in the attack. Who was it that boasted that they would never return to their hometown until they became a great Pokémon trainer? Xyroxia could only say with an embarrassed expression, "That's why I said I least wanted to come here." Peony continued to tease Xyroxia. "What? You obviously can't stand being compared to us three beautiful ladies, so you deliberately used training Pokémon as an excuse to escape the pressure and go outside." Xyroxia, her face darkening, angrily said to her sister, "Don't talk nonsense. I can't believe you ran back so quickly." "I'm so sad," the blonde girl chimed in. "No, that's not it, Sakura Nichan. It's that brat who has a problem with me," Misty quickly explained to her sister, pointing at Ash. The three older sisters looked Xyroxia up and down again. "No way, even though he has a great physique and a masculine temperament, why don't you pick someone a little more handsome? And he's younger than you, isn't he? You have no taste at all." Xyroxia blushed and said to her sister in an even louder voice, "That's not how it is. In short, in order to protect the reputation of Cerulean Gym, I have no choice but to fight now." "That's true, only your Pokémon still has the ability to battle." The older sisters then agreed that Xyroxia would represent the Cerulean Dojo. The battle arena of the Cerulean Gym is a large pool, with Ash and Misty standing on floating platforms at opposite ends of the pool. "I really don't want to fight you, Ash, but I have no other choice. If you want to get the blue badge, you have to defeat me first." "I won't refuse any battle." Ash looked at Pikachu at his feet. "Pikachu, let us see how powerful we are." Pikachu is the most suitable Pokémon to deal with Misty, who only has Water-type Pokémon. However, to Ash's surprise, Pikachu looked at Misty with a pitiful expression, unwilling to participate. "Pikachu, good boy." Upon hearing Misty's voice, Pikachu happily waved to her. Besides Ash, Misty is Pikachu's closest friend. Even during the journey, Xyroxia spent a large part of the time holding Pikachu. It's true, she doesn't want to fight just because it's Zia. Pikachu refused to participate, so Ash had to bring out other Pokémon. "I'm counting on you, Pippi." Ash has a habit of releasing newly joined partners to gain experience in battles where victory is assured. The rules are the same as the previous Pewter Gym. You can use 2 Pokémon. After saying that, Misty released her Pokémon. "Go, Staryu." Clefairy used Finger Strike. Ash, as always, took the initiative and launched the first attack. The effect of the finger swing is to randomly select one move from almost all moves and use it. This time, the finger gesture used Hypnotic Powder. The powder scattered, just as the starfish was swaying left and right, about to fall over. Starfish, jump off the float and into the pool to wash off the powder. The starfish spun around and fell into the pool, but soon jumped back onto the float and recovered. Ash, in an environment where there is water all around, water-type Pokémon are the strongest. Xyroxia proudly showed off to Xyroji how she had countered his moves. The starfish jumped directly into the pool and attacked with a water gun. Several water jets shot out from different directions underwater, and Pippi was hit directly by one of them. That works too. Ash really doesn't have any direct way to attack what's underwater right now. Hee, Ash, you'd better surrender quickly. You can't beat me." Xyroxia smiled happily as she made a victory sign at Zyroji. They become complacent with just a little advantage. Too immature. He's such a little kid. The older sisters used their sharp tongues to attack Zyroxia, and the effect was outstanding. Whose side are you on? I'm your own sister. Of all the other skills Pippi currently possesses, patting, singing, and turning into a round shape, none of them can attack Staryu. With no other option, Ash had to gamble again with his finger swing. Pippi used the finger flick next. As Pippi waved its finger, a dazzling light suddenly burst forth from its body. Boom! The skill I drew this time was a self-destruction attack, which rendered Pippi unable to fight. Zyroxia's starfish remained unharmed while hiding in the water. Ash didn't expect Misty to take the first game. If Pikachu isn't willing, then you'll have to do it. Ash recalled his Clefairy and released his other Pokémon. Go in, Beedrill. The starfish stays in the water and attacks with its water gun. When Zyroxia saw Zyroji release Beedrill, her smile vanished, replaced by a serious expression. Even Beedrill has no way to attack from underwater. If Pikachu were willing to participate, even if Misty's Staryu stayed hidden underwater, Pikachu could have easily taken it down with a single Thunderbolt. But there are solutions now. Big Needle. Use missile needles continuously to expand the range to the entire field. These are new techniques that I've learned as my skill proficiency has increased through daily combat. Beedrill moved swiftly across the field, its stingers flashing white light incessantly, and its missile-launched spears successfully covered the entire arena. Although the speed of the missile needle attack is slower in water, its range is large enough at a certain density, leaving Starfish with no room to dodge. Soon after, Zyroxia's Starfish floated to the surface from the bottom of the water, losing its ability to fight. Well done. I knew you could do Beedrill. However, this move consumes too much energy. If you fight against a master in the future, it will be a complete loss and will instead create a huge opening. Damn it, Ash, don't get cocky. Go, Starmie. Misty sends out her second Pokémon, a starfish that appears to be covered in dark blue rocks and has more horns, making it much larger than her previous Starmie. Use the high-speed starfish, then quickly jump into the water. Although the high-speed star couldn't hit Beedrill, it exploded in the air, creating a light barrier that temporarily blocked Beedrill's vision. The gem starfish wanted to take this opportunity to jump to the bottom of the pool. Page 10. Beedrill doesn't have the stamina to unleash another full-area pin missile attack. Zyroxia has a huge advantage in terms of venue. How can we let you succeed? Beedrill used Hyper Beam directly on the floating platform opposite. The energy wave of the destruction ray descended from the sky, striking the floating platform where the gem's starfish was located. The immense power caused ripples to spread across the entire pool. Even Ash and Misty, who were standing on different floating platforms at opposite ends of the field, almost lost their balance. As the smoke dissipated, the rubies on Zyroxia's starfish continued to flash red, indicating that it had lost its ability to fight. Ding! Beedrill acquired Affection +1, Intimacy +1. Zyroxia, your starfish is really weak. It lost its fighting ability just from the aftershock. Don't talk too much. I'll train it properly in the future. After losing the match, Misty reluctantly recalled her Pokémon. Just as Zyroxia was about to continue arguing with Zyroji, a loud crash was heard, and a huge machine smashed a large hole in the wall of the gym. To prevent the world from being destroyed. To protect world peace. As soon as the standard lines were finished, a large water pipe extended from the giant machine and began to draw water from the pool inside the venue. Rockets! Why are you guys so persistent? Upon seeing the familiar trio, Ash observed the unidentified machine they were riding in. Giant water pipes and massive engines. It turns out you were the ones who stole from the city before. Kid, we're not here for you this time. With this huge water pump, all we need to do is drain the water out of the cerulean gym. Meow, water-type Pokémon lose a lot of power when they lose water. We'll catch all the Pokémon in there then. Meow, ha ha ha. But our Pokémon are all being treated at Nurse Joy's in the Pokémon Center, not at the gym. Faced with the sudden appearance of Team Rocket, Xyroxia's sisters actually had the mind to explain to them. Ash didn't even want to talk to those three idiots anymore. Pikachu, Thunderbolt. Pikachu's moves spread to the machine, along with the water it absorbed. After a flash of white light, an explosion rang out, and Team Rocket was blasted away once again. Kojiro, why didn't you think of the fact that water can conduct electricity? You didn't expect this either. Meow, remember to take precautions against electric shock next time. This feeling is awful, ×3. Congratulations on completing the side quest. Do a good deed today. Defeat Team Rocket and stop their plot, 3/infinity. Rewards, Alliance Coins +100, Regional Favorability +5, Regional Reputation +1. As Team Rocket disappeared into the horizon, Misty walked to Ash's side. These idiots always show up suddenly and then get knocked out very quickly. I can't understand why they keep doing it. Here you go, the blue teardrop badge. Ash took the badge from Misty and immediately struck his signature pose. Great. We've got 2 badges already, one step closer to the league tournament. Ding. Main quest, blue badge. Completed. Rewards, defense +1, special defense +1, free attribute +3. Water-type skill power increased by 5% when possessing a blue badge. Pikachu. Pikachu, how dare you celebrate with me, you rascal. Pinch Pikachu's little cheeks and punish it severely. Chapter 11, Lucario. Riolu jumps up to dodge the opponent's charge and uses Comet Punch. With a single leap, Riolu rendered Rattata incapable of battling. Great, 10 consecutive wins, Ash shouted excitedly. The outskirts of Cerulean City are covered with farmland, with fields visible everywhere along the roads. There are many trainers battling in the area around here. Ash was one of them. Although there are few wild Pokémon in this area, there are many trainers who love to challenge passing travelers. At first, Ash was just taking his Pokémon to do their daily training in an open area nearby. But after learning that he had already obtained 2 badges, the previously scattered trainers began to surround him one by one, taking turns to challenge Ash. Of course, Xyroxia also played a significant role in gathering monsters. The 4 Cerulean sisters are very famous in Cerulean City. Countless local teenagers saw Misty holding Pikachu, standing behind Ash like a waiting for her husband rock. They all gritted their teeth and gathered around Xyroxia, calling their friends and acquaintances. Those rude strangers are so disrespectful. The most beautiful flower among the younger generation of Hulan has been plucked like this. Unforgivable. Ding. Side quest, show your strength. Achieve as many consecutive wins as possible. Activate. Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, plus 300x Chinese letter, 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 plus Chinese letter 10, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, plus 1 Chinese letter, Chinese letter, plus 1 Chinese letter 50, Chinese letter, plus 1. Ash certainly wouldn't miss such a rare opportunity to train his Pokémon, and he accepted all the battle requests. And unless the opponent is too strong, prioritize sending out Clefairy, Riolu, and other Pokémon that Ash is currently relatively weak with. I don't know if it's because the Cerulean gym set a bad example, but the skill level of the trainers in this area is really average. Ash is now like a god of war, winning one battle after another without stopping. Ash, have you finished battling? Let's hurry up and get going. Misty had been standing there for a long time, and her legs were getting sore. No, Xyroxia, I already promised them I would fight them. How can I go back on my word? After massaging Xyroxia's legs, Xyroji, having thoroughly enjoyed the massage, continued earnestly. And you can also make a fortune. This is an unspoken rule among Pokémon trainers. In these informal challenges, the winner can take 200 or 300 yuan of pocket money from the loser. With this money and the rewards from the system, Zyro Zhai has become completely obsessed with money. How long will this battle last? Looking at the huge crowd around her, Xyroxia could only sigh and continue to wait helplessly. Pikachu used Thunderbolt to suppress it. Use Thunderclap now. Amidst the deafening roar of lightning, Ash achieved his 11th consecutive victory. Beedrill took the opportunity to create distance and used Pin Missile. 13-game winning streak. Dodge the attack. Riolu used the Wave Missile now. 15-game winning streak. Great. The singing is working. Pippi rushes over and uses her slap. 20-game winning streak. Pippi used a series of slaps. With his 37th consecutive win and having accumulated enough experience, Ash used a Moonstone to evolve Clefairy into Clefairy. The battle continues. 99th consecutive win. Slowly opening his eyes, Ash ignored the unwilling cries of his opponents and remained silent. In the somber atmosphere, he seemed to be surrounded by an aura of dominance. Of course, it's not that Ash deliberately stayed silent to pretend to be a pro. It's just that I fought all day and managed to shout myself hoarse. The last opponent stepped forward to shake hands with Ash after the match. This man with a center-parted hairstyle, suspenders, and glasses has a pretty good Nidorino. It withstood 5 rounds of Ash's Beedrill attack, but was finally defeated by a fatal sting. A total of 99 consecutive wins. You are really amazing. I admit defeat wholeheartedly. There was still a hint of resentment in the words of the man in overalls and glasses. We're entrusting the mermaids of Cerulean City to you. Your skills are quite good. Ash originally planned to give a long, boastful speech. My throat was really sore, so I could only give that brief response. That's what the bespectacled man said with a sigh. Maybe you can defeat Xyroming. Xyroming. He built a private gym right there, and he's a trainer known as Beastmaster Xyroming. I heard he's never lost a match so far. Really? Okay. I'm going to meet him. Xyrojai's throat hurt terribly when he spoke even a little louder. He quickly ran to Xyroxia and drank some anti-inflammatory herbal tea, which made him feel a little better. There's nothing I can do but rest tonight and go see Xyroming tomorrow. The next morning, Ash, fully recovered, went to Demigoz's gym full of energy. Seeing Ash struggling to survive yesterday, only to be back to his energetic self overnight, Xyroxia couldn't help but exclaim that Ash's recovery ability was truly terrifying. Since Xyroming built the dojo, he naturally wanted people to come and challenge him, so it couldn't be a remote place. Not long after they started walking along the main road, Ash and his friends found a tent-shaped private gym surrounded by a wooden fence in a clearing in the woods. The sign above the gate reads, 98 consecutive wins. Would you like to have a competition? A burly young man with green hair emerged from the forest. Looking at the boy in front of him, Ash asked, Are you Beastmaster Xyroming? Xyroming smiled slightly. It seems you heard the rumors about me from local trainers. I just got back from catching a new Pokémon, but I'm not going to refuse a challenge. Come on in. The wooden gate slowly opened, revealing an area that was considerably larger than it appeared from the outside. It's clearly a private martial arts school, but it looks quite formal. It's easy to imagine that the owner of this place put a lot of thought into it. The two quickly took their places on the field. Page 11. Zyraming, you've put up such a huge sign to promote your record. My current winning